This is the Local and Community Issues and Answers right here with Jonathan Lawson. And today we have a special guest in the studio from the Knox Whitley Animal Shelter, Miss Deanna Myers and Charlotte Schiltz. Okay, it's so good to meet you. Good to see you.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
And let's talk about the animal shelter. What have we got here?
This right here is a little 10 to 12 week old puppy. His name is JJ. He is a Jack Russell mix.
Okay.
And he is one of many that we have at the animal shelter. We keep basically around 75 to 100 animals at the shelter at any time.
75 to 100 animals. Now, different types of animals, puppies, kittens, and things like that?
We've got anything from dogs, puppies, cats, kittens, the occasional guinea pig, but that's just about as far as we go.
Now, these animals need good homes.
They do. Our shelter sees anywhere from 6,000 to 7,000 animals a year come through our shelter. So that is a lot out there that needs loving homes.
Well, let me ask you this. How long have you been with the animal shelter?
I have been the director there for about a little bit over 3 years now.
All right. Charlotte, let's hear from you. How long you been with the animal shelter?
I've been there about 2.5 years.
2.5 years, and I'm sure you've seen many puppies and kitties go to a good home.
Yes, I have.
That's what the shelter's all about. It's like taking care of these animals until they can find a good home.
Yeah.
And you all are looking for people that's going to take good care of these animals. What's the process of that, Deanna?
Okay, basically for a dog adoption it's $59.
Okay.
For a cat adoption it's $39. Now if the animal is not already altered and up to date on its shots, which is something that we're trying to do at our shelter, is keep around 50% on the floor that is already spay and neutered.
Right.
But if that animal is not, the adoption fee does cover a voucher for about 8 to 10 local vets.
Very good.
That will get the animal spay or neutered for free. We also, we have vets as far as from Manchester to Lexington. So any vet office that is willing to work with us within our price range, we'll be glad to work with them also with the new adopter.
What's the process? I mean, somebody just come in and just look through the animals and just pick out one, or how's it work?
We do. I guess the longest process is you picking someone out or them picking you. You usually come to the shelter and you've got a certain thing in your mind that you think that you're going to pick out, but in actuality usually it's them that pick you out. So that's probably the longest process. We do have a playroom, so if you pick someone out, you can go into the playroom with the animal you picked out, make sure that it's going to be a match for you and your family. After that, there is a contract to fill out.
The contract. Well, let me ask you this, Charlotte. How many animals do you have there? Just basic.
About 75 to 100 at any given time.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
that are for adoption.
For adoption, and once again, they're looking for good homes, caring people to take care of these animals. How do you all get your animals? I mean, different ways, or?
We serve 4 counties, 5 cities, and the general public. We get from animal control from the 4 counties. We are an open admissions shelter, so that means we turn no one away.
Right.
We don't charge anyone to drop off. There's no sense in people taking an animal out here and dropping it off on the side of the road when they can bring it to us. And we see that a lot. And it's something we really don't, we don't charge anything, and we don't look down on people for bringing them to the shelter.
Right. Now, you all really care for animals, and you take care of the animals while they're there.
We try very hard. We work sometimes 7 days a week.
Very good. Now, Deanna, let me ask you this. How are the animals housed there? I mean, how does that work?
Well, we've basically got about 28 runs for the bigger dogs or adult dogs. That doesn't mean necessarily there's 1 per run. A lot of times there's 2, because we try to save as many lives as we can.
Right.
We have a fully stocked puppy room, which means there is plenty. We carry around probably 20 puppies at any given time. We also have a cat room, so if you're a cat lover, we have a cat room. We keep between 15 to 20 cats at any given time. And like I said, just the basic process is just coming up and finding someone that you want to make a part of your family.
Right. Explain to the people that's watching and listening by the way of TV, radio, internet, the importance of being good to animals and providing this service for them.
I mean, the biggest thing is we see a lot of cases anymore. A lot of people have the misconception that if an animal is at the animal shelter, it is a damaged animal or a reject animal, or for some reason it's a problem child and it's at the animal shelter, and that's really not basically true anymore. I think the number one reason we've seen is a lot of people are moving. They're moving into apartments, smaller houses, or they're renting, and they just basically cannot take the animals with them.
Right.
So that is a lot of the process that we're having. Of course, a lot of them are brought in as strays, and we hold for 5 days.
Right.
And sometimes they're just basically have been misplaced, have gotten away from their owner. So while we're talking about a little bit of that,
Yeah.
please tag your animal. It is Kentucky law to at least have your rabies tag every year. That is your animal's ticket home.
Right.
I mean, that is the first thing we do whenever they come to the shelter.
Right.
And a lot of people don't even think to call the animal shelter whenever they have an animal missing.
Right.
So we do, accept the phone calls, and we try our best to reunite animals back with their home